see the sun creeping up on me? It's like right here.
Hottest part of the day.
Hot. We got the fans going.
Sorry for the extra noise.
My goodness. Yeah, things are going well. You're feeling
really
better.
good. I am feeling better. Why? We found a chiropractor.
Found some natural stuff that has been helping you.
Yeah, they do. They have a lot of natural stuff here available.
Yeah.
And the pharmacist actually recommended the natural stuff over like medication,
right.
which I love that.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yep. So you're feeling a bit better. I think a combination of a good mattress and not being so high, you'd probably be.
I'd be perfect.
You'd be just on
but
point.
that's okay. We have learned, and we do now know where to go for good mattresses.
We do. Yes, we do. Okay, so we got a few updates. We took a tour with our boy.
Jorge. It was so fun. He is such a great tour guide. He is happy and has lots of energy, and he loves Medellín. He loves it here. Sabaneta, which is where he lives, his family lives. You can just tell that he has such a love for this area. So yeah, we went through Envigado because this is where you and I are strongly considering buying a place.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we took a tour, spent about 3 hours, a little bit more than 3 hours because we had lunch too.
Oh, we drove out to Laureles as well, but
yeah. I don't think that's our scene.
That's not our scene.
It's nice and all, but
it's not where we want to be. No.
So yeah, Jorge with JJM. I finally figured it out because it's all in one word.
JJM
so
Tours.
It's JJMDE, which is Medellín Tours. JJ Medellín Tours.
Got it.
Finally figured it out.
JJMDE.
It only took me a year. So JJMDE Tours. Fantastic. English speaking. Great vehicles, air conditioning.
That was really nice.
So it's a very pleasant trip.
Chad has gotten several Comfort Plus for me. Ubers.
My girl runs warm sometimes. If we're going on a long trip,
that's love.
If it's a trip more than like 10 minutes, it's
worth it.
Yeah. So our tour, we had a couple surprises for us. Like our ask was, we want to see Medellín, but we want to look at neighborhoods, and we want to start to see what properties look like in specific neighborhoods, so we can associate a property, and then is it walkable? Are there markets around?
Or do we need a car?
Where's shopping? Or do we need a vehicle, right? And George, I call him George, it's Jorge. George showed us a bunch of places, but he took us to the very top of this mountain. That's when we told him heights are not a great thing.
Yeah.
Elevation's tough.
It was beautiful up there, though. Oh my God, the view was breathtaking.
But on the way down,
he
pulled off into a little neighborhood and told him what happened.
Well, what do you mean?
Right? Isn't that?
No, that's in Sabaneta. So
no, when we toured that, it's Sabaneta.
Yeah, so that was actually the first place we went.
Yeah.
Before we even got into Envigado. So there is a house. Like, we can see it from our apartment on the 28th floor. It's in a gated community. I love the fountain. And I've looked at this so many times since we've been here and had no idea. This house is huge. It has an elevator in it. Beautiful big kitchen. Updates definitely are needed. But it does have that Colombian style.
Yeah, marble
but stunning. 5 bedrooms, something like that. 4 bathrooms.
Yeah.
It had a maid's quarters, which we would turn into
pantry, maybe?
A pantry or something like that, probably. But it also had something very unique, which was like not even a half basement, but just like it's in the basement, but it's plenty of space to like store things, kind of like you would in the U.S. And it also had a 2-car garage, which was really nice. It had a mango tree outside.
Some yard for the doggo.
Some yard. I loved it.
It's a corner lot, and it backed up into what would be wooded going into the mountain area, where in that complex, several other places they back into like the road for the next, strip of houses. So this one's at the very far back.
Detached home, and it was very quiet back there, which I noticed. No air conditioning. So that would have to be put in there. But anyway, I fell in love with this house.
Yeah.
And
The idea was like understand what housing
Yeah.
looks like, and George was able to get us in not only the gated property but also into the house to take a look, which I thought was amazing.
that was awesome.
And there was two. We opted not to look at the second one. We got an idea. We saw what it
Yeah.
looks like. We kind of have an idea of what it is.
I thought it's a great house for when we get older and can't go upstairs. We can take the elevator. Anyway, I thought it was great. It would be a perfect place for us to have family, come down and hang out and stay. If Chad's mom or my mom, wanted to come down for a month or whatever, they could do that,
Right.
So that was a bonus of having such a big house, but it definitely needed updates.
Yes.
And how in the world would we furnish this ginormous house? And it was reasonably priced. That was something else.
Yeah.
I was just in awe over that. But that was in Sabaneta,
Yep. And then we headed out. Yep.
headed out to Envigado. Yeah.
So in Envigado, we found how many places? We found like two main neighborhoods that were flat, walkable. But here's the thing: it's so densely populated.
Yeah.
So like what we're finding is it's difficult to find. So everything's apartments or houses, but the houses are like
Attached.
to each other. So it's really kind of like almost condo style, maybe. But you still have a neighbor. You still share a wall kind of with the neighbor.
Detached homes here are not. They're
It's
few and far between. Yeah.
And so do we go with apartment or attached home living where it's flat and walkable and everything's there, or do we go out a bit, do lands, or find a place that is already existing, like a detached house, but it's out from the walkable area, right? So it's more like country living, if you will. Or do we find land and build, right?
Which is also hard and expensive.
So
Land is expensive.
we're
here.
tough. It's tough to decide what right looks like. So we still have some work to do. But Envigado was very nice.
I love it.
Lots to see.
My favorite.
Yeah. So
We haven't gone to El Retiro yet, though, and I don't know if we're going to.
Yeah, it's
It is cooler there.
different.
It's just different.
It's just different.
Country living,
Um,
but it is an up and coming area here.
Yeah, and it's actually a pretty expensive area as well.
Mm-hmm.
So lots to consider, but taking that tour, spending 3 hours with George was amazing because we got to see like the specific neighborhoods, understand what the pricing looks like, understand what housing in that area looks like. Are there dog parks? Is it by a university? Like all of the information that you need when you would normally just hop on a Zillow or a Redfin or whatever to do homework.
Yes, it
which
is
just doesn't exist here.
Definitely harder here.
Yeah.
Propstar, I think, is one.
Yeah. So that one is for property listings. Yep. Propstar. There's an app, and you can search various cities and departments and locations.
Yeah, and I highly recommend Andrew Macia, who is the Medellín Buzz.
Yeah.
So you can check him out. He's a real estate agent here. He and AK Joel.
They're gonna make it easy. Where like they
Yeah.
just kind of like survey what do you need, what are you looking for, but then once they have all the answers, then they can start to go to work to find the places on your behalf.
Yeah.
Where we're kind of just flying by the seat of our pants with our tour guide for now.
Well, I don't know. I think we wanted to see, because we're not going to live in Medellín. We already made that
Right.
made that decision. So we really wanted to travel around and look and tour and see. We went to Envigado Saturday night for dinner
Mm-hmm.
at Bastardos. Such a great restaurant. And so that's a
Yeah.
very walkable area, and I want to say it's in El Portal.
That I don't know.
El Portal.
I trust you on that.
Portal. El Portal. But it's Portal. Super walkable area, lots of restaurants, shops, different things like that. So that is a piece of Envigado that I love. Walkable areas, the reason I wanted walkable is because I have in my mind that I can just walk out, go get fruit, vegetables, whatever. If I wanted to go daily, I could go daily and get that stuff fresh, because fruit
Yeah.
and vegetables do go bad here quicker because they're fresher.
And then I'm on the other flip.
Yeah.
I'm becoming a grumpy old man who doesn't want to deal with humans. And after being in an apartment where there's high rises everywhere and we hear nothing but dogs barking all day, all night, I'm kind of over the busy city scene.
Yeah, and that's fair.
And I'm struggling with being able to find within the Envigado little limits, flat and walkable, where that's going to be an option. So we're kind of going between to figure out what right looks like for us in the long term, or even the short term, and then convert it into a rental. We just don't know.
Yeah.
But long story short, Envigado tour with George, amazing. Learned a ton, an absolute ton.
Yeah, it was really great. I mean, I would honestly, as much as I love Envigado, I would take this house here in Sabaneta.
Yeah.
It's flat. It's in a gated community.
Just
it's beautiful. It's
get a used
detached.
car and just be able to go where you
And
need
get
to
a
go.
used car, and we have more than enough room, you know, for friends and family to come down,
Yeah.
you know, whenever they want, which is really important to us because Chad has a really large family.
Yeah, every other year we do Christmas down in Florida,
Mhm.
and there's 4 girls, myself. It's a lot of us.
Yeah, husbands, nieces,
Nieces.
dogs.
Yeah. We found one of 25 chiropractors in Colombia. So chiropractic is not a taught thing in Colombia, so
No.
it's very rare that there's actual chiropractic practices.
Yeah, and I'm a big believer in chiropractors. I've been seeing a chiropractor since I was 15. Obviously, you want to make sure you have a good one. But our chiropractor is from Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
She is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to see her tomorrow.
I'm going back one more time.
Yeah, she literally, I had for 4 days, 0 vertigo whatsoever. This top bone, the atlas, is literally over here pushing on my ear, and so my ear's like really sore to even touch. She just made it was just a remarkable difference. So I'm
Yeah.
going to go back and I'm going to keep going to see her until we leave because I want to be able to enjoy the rest of my time here. So
It's a great place.
yeah,
Very
in
clean,
Morelos, it's beautiful.
beautiful
Wow.
place.
Yeah.
I was very. I'm not gonna say blown away because it was the expectations that I had were exceeded. Like your expectations change America to Colombia, but Morelos, I had a certain expectation and they exceeded it. It was a very beautiful place.
This chiropractic office did, yeah.
She spoke English very well. Was able to help us with, you know, what she was going to do, expectations, what was next,
What was going on with our bodies.
what was going on. Yeah. it
And
was
then I
great.
received an email the very next morning with a report for Chad and then one for me of, you know, kind of what was going on and
Yeah.
the treatment plan and all that kind of stuff. So, and it was very inexpensive compared to what we pay for or what I pay for in the States. And they go above and beyond. So it's not just cracking your neck or whatever. We actually received treatment afterwards. You laid on a bed.
Yeah, because I was there just for moral support and just get a little alignment. So they just tossed me on a massage bed for 15-20 minutes, half hour. I don't know how long it was.
It was like 20
I
minutes.
fell asleep for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But for you, they did something different. So it wasn't just like cookie cutter. It was based on what you needed done, and yours was different than mine. Mine was just hang out and relax and wait for your wife. And yours, they were focusing on why you came
Yeah,
in.
all in here. It was a TENS unit is what they used. I'm gonna get us one, but yeah, it was really fantastic. So we left out of there feeling so good. And then that night I slept for like 11 hours.
Yeah,
It was crazy because I was just so jacked up
yeah.
from this hard mattress. So note to us, when we come back, we're gonna get a mattress topper to where I don't feel like I'm laying on like
Exactly. Sleep's super important.
the ground.
It's
Yeah.
very important. In case you noticed, Amy's complexion's darkened a little bit. We did a pool day. This is 45 minutes of sun.
That's it. 45 minutes
45
is all I
minutes
can
of
take with sunscreen.
So we had every expectation of maxing and relaxing. We knew we were going to be working, but it took us 5-6 weeks to finally make it to the pool for a pool day because we've just been.
Well, Sadie also chewed up the key card, so we couldn't.
Yeah, we lost a couple weeks not having access.
We lost a month
Yeah,
before we got that key card replaced.
I don't know if it was a month.
It was a month. Yeah.
Well, we made it.
Definitely.
We finally made it. We learned that the Colombian sun's super hot.
Wow.
Hits different down here. But it was phenomenal. We made it almost an hour.
It was so fun too. We just laid out there, and so
Brought speaker, listen to music.
you have to have swim caps here. Like
Yeah.
it's absolutely, you're not allowed in the pool without it. So we need to go find pool caps before we can get into the pool. Had we been able to get into the pool,
We could have stayed.
we could have stayed a little bit longer.
Shift
But
between the shade and the.
Yeah.
Now, the rules, just so everybody knows, specifically say women must wear swim caps, but it seems to be common that everybody does.
kids, parents,
Everybody wears them. I don't know if it's just a let's as a community make sure we keep this clean kind of thing, because that's one of the reasons. Loss of hair, product in the hair.
It makes sense.
It just makes sense. And in America, we just douse more chlorine in there to kill whatever. But here, the pools are open all the time.
Yeah, the pools are open year round. So nice.
So people are just more responsible of, maintaining as a whole. So anyways, swim caps. Yeah, we gotta find them.
Yeah, and the kids here, like, I am loving, having worked with kids for 30 years, I am absolutely loving hearing and seeing kids outside playing in the pool, just enjoying life and not on a cell phone, not gaming, not, sitting in front of the TV. It makes such a difference, and the children here are so polite and kind. Yeah.
All day. Like, as soon as they're out of school, they're out playing soccer, they're playing tag, riding bikes, in the pool, just out. And then we take Sadie out and it's dark and they're still out there.
They're still out playing. And if it's raining, the kids they're on the soccer field. They take their socks and shoes off and they play soccer in the rain.
Yeah.
It is refreshing to see kids not have that enormous amount of screen time and that sedentary lifestyle, that we have in the States. So that's a positive that I've seen here.
When we were growing up.
I'm an 80s kid. Are you kidding me? I was like, come back when the,
lights come on.
when the lights come on. So
Yeah. Yeah. I
It's
used to
been
try
great.
to sleep until noon, and my dad would get up, not sleeping all day.
yeah, I have chores to do.
What else
so-
we got? Oh, okay, cell phone service. I finally.
Yeah.
So the whole cell phone thing, our bank account here requires two-factor authentication, which means it has to send a text message to confirm my identity, right? Totally fair, makes
Sure.
sense, we do in the US. But my SIM card was an electronic SIM card, and it was on our old phones, and we upgraded phones in the States, and so that was disconnected. And so we didn't have a Colombian cell phone number up until last week, the entire time we're here. And so it's not a big deal because I have a bank account with a debit card. I could transfer US funds to my Colombian bank account. So we were able to do what we need to do. Almost every place takes our American Express. So it wasn't like the end of the world, but when it came to like paying our massage therapist, paying for our assistant, that is really difficult to do because Venmo doesn't exist here, right?
Or Cash App or any of the other stuff
And
that
so
we have.
you would have to go to the bank, get enough cash, or what most people do is just do a transfer. So now we can transfer.
Yep. So we went to the Majorca Mall in Sabaneta because that is where the main Tigo place is.
Yeah, like the corporate office. It's like the main hub. But none of the other places will do anything. They'll sell you something, but they won't maintain. You have to go to the main office for that sort of stuff, account maintenance.
So Luisa, thank God for Luisa. She went
Amazing.
met us there. She is awesome. She was highly recommended to us. So she met us there, and we really had a good time. I mean, sitting there talking, learning from each other, just talking about our dogs, so forth and so on. So Chad gets up there and sits down and
quietly because she's talking for me.
and I take off. I go out looking at the.
You got antsy.
I got antsy, so I went. It was like looking in the stores and stuff, but it was really awesome to finally get that taken care of. Well, then we're trying to pay her 2 days later, we're still trying to pay her. And so I sent her a text and I said, we just don't, this is like, doesn't make sense. Why can we not? We're doing everything correctly. Well, Chad was trying to do it off of his US phone.
Yeah, so I have the app download on my US phone.
Can't do that. You have to use, he had to
Same
use his
device.
Colombian phone.
Yeah, so as soon as I use my Colombian phone, everything's fine.
It through, and we both looked at each other like,
Yeah.
okay, why didn't we think of that? I don't know, but
You said it, I'm like, there's no reason that's the reason. That doesn't make sense. Sure enough.
yeah, it was awesome though to be able to finally get that taken care of, and now that makes so much here easier. You know, when we go to transfer money for a home or anything like that, it's just gonna make life so much easier. So.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, we have a coffee tour coming up this week
Yeah, it's 2 days.
in 2 days.
So not a relatively all day affair. Half
It's
day.
pretty much all day. My daughter is coming the end of February, and so that'll be fun. She'll be here for about 5 days, I guess. So we're gonna have to ramp up on work to be able to have the time, me especially, to spend the time with her. But yeah, I think we are possibly going to Guatapé with her one day.
I'm not climbing the stairs.
Me neither.
I did the math.
She'll have
700
to-
steps is 41 flights. 41 flights.
You'll die. He would die.
It would take me hours because I'm not doing it. I'll be at a restaurant or at a bar with George and we'll just
With
hang
the
out.
beer, yeah.
Yeah.
I might be with you. I really don't think I can swing that. She's 27. She could do it.
Yeah.
But we're also going to what restaurant when she's here?
Oh, La Succursale.
That and another one, a sushi restaurant in Provenza.
Oh, I knew you were gonna ask.
Jackie
I-
Chan or something like that. Is that what
Yeah,
it's called?
Jackie Chan's.
Jackie Chan. So she's a huge sushi lover.
Johnny Chan. I can't remember.
I don't know, something like that.
But it's,
So-
it's Japanese food.
Japanese food. So we're going to take her there, and we have lots of stuff planned. Yeah, so we're super excited for the last 5 weeks that we're here. Yeah, that's about what we have left.
Work-wise, we onboarded
Two new clients.
I was gonna say 2 new writers.
I'm sorry,
So-
2 new writers.
So the team's grown. We got 2 new writers who are taking over some of the work that we've been inundated with. So we're growing, and we have 3 or 4 clients queued up
Yes.
for February.
It has been
It's all happening.
wild.
It's a little surreal.
It's been wild, and for me, like, I've taken on different roles, if you will, but it's almost more time consuming. And I'm like, okay, I have to get all of this done because we have to get Sadie to the vet again right before we leave, like within 10 days before we leave. She has to have a bath. I mean, there's just a lot, and Tessa's going to be here up
Like
until
the
the
week before,
1st. Yeah, Chad's birthday's the 1st
And then we leave
in
the
March.
5th.
And then we leave the 5th. So I get a little antsy with stuff like this because when it comes to flying with her and whatnot. And then
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen when we get back home. I've been thinking about this lately. I didn't tell you about it, but what's it going to be like to be back in the States after being...
Oh, I thought you were gonna say in the cold.
Well, that too. But,
I think it's
yeah.
gonna be fine. Honestly, I think I'm gonna fall right into routine very quickly and easily. And if I don't, then I'll have friction. But I think I'll be able to jump right back into it. Yeah, I won't even. So I'm being super ADD. All the stuff you're thinking about now, I won't even think about it until like 24 hours
Right.
before.
I mean, right before.
Right before.
I get antsy. I'm the ADD person that is like bouncing off the walls, kind of. His is different, but
It's structure.
structure.
Masking, yeah. Anyways, enough about my brain. Yeah, so Ever Studios is growing. I did a presentation for the Good People Fund today on content creation. So, I mean, things are going great. We're making great relationships and partnerships with nonprofits and for-profits. We have people quite literally just calling the business line asking, because they've been referred to us. We had to onboard 2 people to take over writing for us so that we could start onboarding and working on back end stuff. I was concerned, are we going to continue to grow the business while we're absent for 3 months? And the truth is, we've done more.
We have done more here.
In these
We
last-
have been much more productive. I think sunshine, we don't set an alarm clock. We get up whenever we want to, which we kind of did that at home too, but
Yeah.
it's just different here. And we're also not running to this chamber event and to that chamber event and going to this family member's house. Like, we're not running all the time, which has made a huge difference.
Yeah.
And that has helped me, I don't know, kind of reframe when we go back to the United States, how I want my days to go, and really making sure that I'm intentional with my time.
Right.
Because, it just wasn't working.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this has been really
We learned
great.
a lot. We've grown a lot, and I think we'll be able to jump back in the U.S. and hit the ground running, but be very intentional with
Yeah.
the efforts we put in, rather than trying a little of this and trying a little of that. We're very focused on what works. We know what works.
Yeah, we get way more done here than we did at home. You want to tell about the little dryer? You know, how I'm drying clothes?
The old-fashioned way. We got 6 chairs, and they're always full of clothing.
And the table.
The kitchen table. But I'll tell you what, they dry very quickly.
Yeah.
So we used the dryer when we first got here, and it was just too
So
hot. We had to stick a fan to try and blow it out the window so it didn't come back in. So really, the only thing that's missing is the dryer sheet smell. I don't need that. The smell of life is perfectly great.
I got to buy Tide here, so I was very happy.
Yeah, so it's just the old-fashioned way. And we look at the other apartments and people got lines and
Yeah,
racks.
they hang stuff out. I
racks.
grew up with that. We always had a clothesline. My granny had a clothesline, so I prefer hanging clothes up if I can. Can't do that at home in the condo, right? Because we live in a condominium.
We don't have a deck or something.
Yeah, we don't have that. But yeah, that's been kind of nice actually for me. And they dry really, really quick. So
Yeah.
yeah, life is good.
Anything else you want to shout out to the people?
No. I think I'm ready to go down and grab a drink at our little area.
Max and relax.
We'll do
Go
a
see
little
the boys.
relaxing. Yeah.
All right. Well, until next time. I almost said keep folding your sheets. That's the other podcast. Keep
What is that?
folding your laundry.
Keep folding your laundry.
Yeah. Well, just keep living beyond the desk.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll see you later.
Take care, guys.